So weird. Like we said, tech glitches. It happens. Alrighty. Yeah. Sorry about that, you guys.
Okay,
Tech
we're
glitches,
good.
like we said.
No
Yes.
problem.
Yeah, we're good now. Sorry about that, you guys. But welcome back, you guys. Thanks for coming back. Like I said, let's jump into this interview where
Right.
we have another tech glitch. So the last few weeks has been what has the last few weeks been like for your creative community?
I mean,
Just
I
like
don't
your
know.
spin on it. I mean,
For
everybody has a
me,
point of
like
view
it's
these days.
been
So
over a month. Okay, so everything started July the
yeah.
14th. It was very different in the summer. I haven't been able to actually pick it lately, just because I think when I met
Mm-hmm.
you, I broke my toe.
Mm-hmm. Right,
Can't
right,
pick it when your toe is
right.
broken.
You did tell me
Although
that. I
I
remember
was tempted to go out on my little mini scooter.
that.
People are still going. I mean, I have friends that I pass that they don't even see me and I see them. I recently had a move and I moved to Midtown, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
closer to where my picket line was. My picket line was 30 Rock.
Mm.
And I pass by people
Okay.
like all the
Okay.
time that are still going. And the only thing really that prevented me from actually continuing to picket was the toe, broken toe. But the
Right, right,
thing of
right,
it is
right,
that it's
right.
a very serious situation for everybody, and people are
Mm-hmm.
tense, and
Mm-hmm.
people who originally were not going out to picket have started to picket, and they've started to go out daily, and it
Right.
started to be kind of a job that's replaced the job that you had on set, you know,
Right,
until things
right,
are
right,
resolved.
right.
And the
Yes.
really, quite honestly,
Right.
there's a lot of unity in it, because when you're going out and you're picketing, you're seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time, right? You're seeing new people that you've never
Absolutely.
seen, and you're just kind of in unison. So the thing about it, it's a kind of a sad time because we're not working and we're not making money. Most of us
Okay.
who are
Money.
who are
Right.
dedicated actors and who don't have a side gig or a day job or something like that. So the sad part is you're not making
Right.
money,
Right. Right.
but the kind of happy part is that people are joining forces and feeling empowered by the entire
Mm-hmm.
process, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of like a double-edged
Right.
sword, I feel like.
Absolutely. Uh, well, I hope you guys, like I'm saying, those are
Oh,
non-union
let me
performers,
just
but
stop
still,
there.
you know what
We
I mean?
have
I'm kind
a
of like,
lot of non-union performers out there that will picket.
that's what I was gonna say. I was on the picket line. I was at the Netflix one on Union, like
Yeah,
what is
like,
it, like 14th, 17th Street,
yeah,
something
on
like that.
Broadway.
So
You
yeah, I'm
should
out
be.
here because, like I
You should
said,
be.
it affects
You
everything.
should
Like, you know what I mean?
be.
Yeah, absolutely. And even I tell people who are even like supporters of the art just in general, like this is not like it's like, it's marching is picking. This is like a
Right.
this is America. So I'm like, you feel like you understand what's going on, like you
Exactly.
should
And
jump
I
in and
also
help people.
feel
Like the
that
more the
there's a lot
merrier,
of
definitely.
actors who are non-union who, for whatever reason, just haven't joined the union. A lot of them have been on the
Yeah, yeah,
line.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
We have the credits for it. We
Yeah.
have everything, Yeah, it's very true. Agreed. I used to
That's
live in
right. I
Hollywood, so
know
I
you're
definitely
LA
hear you. There's
based,
people like,
right?
are you not in
Yeah.
the union? And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, but like I said, all my friends are like, yo, this crazy out here. So I really appreciate you sharing also your take because it is hard to be even out there and like, you know what I mean? This is very like raw for me, like as it's human nature. It's like
I
people
know.
and then the auto industry just did it too. So it's not even like
I
you
feel like
guys are alone.
everyone's
It's like
jumping on the
multiple
bandwagon,
industries
but why
striking.
not?
Like
If
what?
your industry is not treating
Yeah,
you correctly, if you have to fight for basic things that you're entitled to
right,
within your industry, then why not?
right,
That's what America's all about. The people like, oh, I wish these strikers would stop. And it's
absolutely.
like, well, we wish that you would stop. We wish that we would get the, I mean, I've seen people, I don't know if you've seen it on the internet. There's people out there who have been in major productions, and they're getting like nothing on their
Yeah,
residuals. They have a
yeah,
residuals page that at
yeah.
the top says a
It's
production
crazy.
and all the dates that they get their checks, and the checks are literally pennies. They're nothing. I'm talking about people who are in things like
They're
Orange Is the New
nothing. Yeah.
Black, like
Yep.
major things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, major popular stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like I say, that one of the reasons I wanted to bring this conversation with
Yeah.
you, because we like kind of had it off screen already, is to let the what they say, like the everyday common person, the everyday Joe, whatever, know like this is what it is, bro. Like you can watch the show you in your mind because people think like, oh, you're celebrities and you're just complaining because then people see them, especially in Hollywood. Like they'll see them in LA in their regular picket clothes, and it's like, oh, you're not poor. I'm like, but you really
Thank
don't know people's
you.
situations. Like,
Thank
I've
you.
lived there.
Everybody's
Like, people getting
deal is
Uber pools
different.
with me,
In
and I'm like, they don't
acting,
have it.
everybody's situation is different.
You
I mean,
understand?
there's people who are recurring and things like that on shows, depending on the show, and it depends on their deal. And you don't know. I mean, being on television or being on, on stage or being on whatever your medium is doesn't guarantee that you're under a contract where you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars. It's a misnomer. It depends on your agent, your deal, your production, how people are treated on that show. The regulars, of course, are going to get more money. But I mean, there's a lot to it. It's like any other industry.
Absolutely. Yep. Very true. Why did you choose to pursue a path of like performing arts?
That's a long one. Probably not for the reason that most people that you hear are in performing arts have a burning desire. Like, I've always wanted to be. I can't tell you that I've always wanted to be an actress. What I can tell you is that my personality is kind of geared towards creativity, right? And having something to say. So I started out as a journalist, and I've always had something to say. But I feel like it's more like the work itself that interests me, as opposed to just speaking through a character. I love stories. I love ideas. And I love the fact that acting incorporates being part of the story. When I was like you, when I was reporting and I was interviewing people, you're not part of the story. I mean, you are, I guess, in a way, but the people that you interview, the actors, are part of the story in a way that I wanted to be part of that. There's so many different hats you can wear and performing, right? You can be a singer, you can be a dancer, you can be, and they all have their own merits. But the thing I like about acting is that the way that you can express yourself is different. It's a uniqueness to it. And I felt that I would be able to be good at it. I felt that I could master it. And even now I'm still trying to master it, trying to master performance. So it's not a
Yeah,
you're
always gonna keep getting better. I would say that, like, roll like a roll.
I think I can. I'm going to. Let me show you what I'm going to do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's an authentic answer, and it wasn't even long ago. I totally get that. Okay, cool. So with all that being said, what does confidence look like to you?
Oh,
confidence
goodness.
Look like to you? So when you see confidence or you hear the word confidence, what does it like look like?
Looks like, I want to say success, but confidence looks like it is success, I feel like, because how can you be successful really if you're not confident? I mean, I guess there are some people that are withdrawn.
Absolutely.
I have seen actors that are withdrawn. I have worked around people that are like shy into themselves. So, but to me, confidence is the ultimate. It's your first step, and it's your last step, and it's your middle step. It always has to be there, right? It's bold, and it always has to be there, because without it, you can't get anything done. Me personally. Other people, like I said, I've seen withdrawn actors. I've seen people, and it works for them. They're shy. They only come out and come to life when they're on camera or when they're on stage. To me, you have to be confident all of the time, okay? Or you can't get what you need and get what you want. So to me, it looks like success, because I feel like, how could you not be successful if you're not confident, right? It's such a large part of who we are,
Yeah.
And in order to get what you need, you got to put it out there. You got to be confident. Yeah.
Ah, you got some hearts. I like that. Agreed. I totally get what you're saying. I totally agree. You have to be like, I feel like so much of like Beyonce music. I just came from her concert, right? And it's like her music. Yeah, I was out there in LA and Hollywood and stuff. It was like, she was in Inglewood, I should say. So yeah, I was there. I went to the concert that was on her actual birthday.
I was just gonna ask you, what celebs
like,
did you see, girl?
Exactly.
Did you see Tracy Ellis Ross?
Just Diane. I already saw the one. No, I didn't see the people in the pit or whatever. I just saw the ones that made it to the stage. It was just Diana. But like the day I was there, all the celebrity was there. I was like, I saw because I saw them promoting. It was like Adele, like, and literally everybody was there that day. Yeah. So, but I'm like, Diana Ross made everybody like sing "Happy Birthday" to Beyonce. But all I'm trying to say is, being so popular, I feel like, because she instills that into people. Like, you know what I mean? The gay community, the Black community, the every American community. Like, you know what I mean? She's just like, you can do this even if you feel like you can't. Like, she's just like, no, just I'm telling y'all, like, just keep saying it until it becomes true. Like, you know? So it's like you have to kind of have it everywhere. I agree. You know, that's like something that people, you can always work on it too, right? So like some days you don't feel as confident you did, you know, it's like, it's one of those things. That's why I love to
Mm.
ask that question. Okay, moving on. So what's the process? How do you find like creative gigs that like fulfill you in the non-strike
Oh,
world that we're not
I
currently living
mean,
in,
you
but like
know, it's
before?
different. I feel like it's different at different ages, at different points in life, right? So there are certain things that I would
Okay.
never do
Mm-hmm.
at this point in life, at the old age that I am. In other
Okay.
words, you know,
Old.
I mean, you know, I'm not
You look great.
21, right? So there are certain things that
Right.
I'm not going to probably,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't say this disparagingly, like you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do DoorDash, or you shouldn't wash cars, or you
Right.
shouldn't, you know, I mean, but you know, there's
Not
certain things
sure.
that my
That's
body won't
funny.
let
Yeah.
me do them,
I hear you.
right? Even if I want to.
Right.
So
Right.
it takes you for a
Right.
loop when you can't be on set because you're caught out there, right? So I
Mm.
met you,
Yeah.
right? We were both teaching. I love to teach. I love the substitute
Yep.
teaching. I eventually will be a teaching artist for sure. I love to speak and help people and
Oh, dope.
talk and make sure people are learning what they need to learn. So I find a lot of fulfillment in substitute teaching. And it just because the people aren't in the industry, right? So you don't ever really
Right.
have
Yeah.
to worry about running into anybody. You can just do your thing, help people get paid, and feel fulfilled at the same time, right? And not
Build.
have to be
Yes.
concerned with
Agreed.
whether,
Yep.
you know, is this going to help further my career?
And I would also say it's a little bit of a right, and it's also a
Yeah,
performance nature to teaching as well, right? Because you're in front of a class, and I feel like when I do it, it's like that skill that I'm always like trying to like flex that performance
exactly.
muscle. I'm speaking clearly and whatever, you know. That's how
Yeah.
I look at it from that point of view too. Very cool. Thank you for that. Okay, so a little personal question: what's the lowest moment you've experienced on this journey, and then how were you able to like pull yourself back from that?
I would say last year,
A
earlier
lot of
this
people
year.
today.
I mean, it's hard. I
Uh,
will be honest with you. It's hard. There's a lot of things. I did a lot of this in
yep.
reverse. In other words, I got out. I switched over from what you're doing, right? I switched over from journalism. I was living in
Right.
LA for a few years. About
Mm-hmm.
2 years, I was in LA. It was in a really nice area of LA. It was great. LA was great. I had a car. I was driving around, but uh, LA is a harder deal. I did not go out there in the acting world at the time. I went out there as a reporter thinking, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
leave New York. I've had enough. You can see my boxes in the back from my move. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
guys. But I'm real. I'm real. I'm not going to sit here and
No, you're
sugarcoat.
fine.
Um, and so I thought I was going to be doing just what I was doing in New York when I got to LA. And it didn't go down that way. Acting
Mm-hmm.
had not occurred to me. I thought I was going to be SAG-AFTRA host. I was going to be hosting everything. Like I did a lot of red carpet work in New York, and I thought it was going to be that way out there. It
Right.
wasn't. So when I came back to New York, I somehow fell into acting because I thought that I felt I hit the ceiling with the writing and the reporting and everything like that. And I fell into it because
Okay.
someone that I knew, like a family member, was doing like background work and they were taking like stuff on sets. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. And so I started looking into how all of this works in the process. And then I just kind of snaked my
Mm-hmm.
way through. I did have some performance background growing up. I always played the viola, which is a musical instrument. And so I was in chorus growing up.
Right.
You know, there was different elements to my background that even though I wasn't a performer, I had some training in other
Right.
related things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Once I found my
Absolutely.
way into the industry, which came through stage, and I started getting backstage and looking. When I first got backstage, I'm like, what? I can't, what? Like, what? And I'm like, this, I can't do this. And then I thought, well, yeah, I can do it. But when I started
Right.
going through and auditioning, and I got lucky, I started doing things early, but I didn't have the formal training. I did,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my original degree was communications. My degree is in history, my
Right.
minor is in art history, but my
Right.
original degree was communications. So I did have the public speaking. I did have
Mm-hmm.
techniques of interviewing. I did have being in front of
Right.
a camera. But what I didn't have was being able to
Right.
memorize lines, being able to study different
Right.
types of technique that you need to be a performer versus being a interviewer. I didn't have that. But I had the
Right.
confidence.
Right.
You asked me about confidence earlier, made a big difference because I
Mm-hmm.
was able to pursue without, I might fail. Oh no, I might fail. So I was able to do that. So I did hit a
Right.
low point. It was going well in the first few years, and I got you know, I got cast for different things. I got paid. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I did some background work. And then from that, I kind of moved through there, and I started getting featured a lot. And then like, blah, 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 it was great. But I thought it was going to stay that way. Right. And little do you know,
right.
I needed to get some training. Right. So I went and got the training.
Right.
So I was lucky with that. Everything was coming. I feel like because I started all of this later in life, everything was coming. Now this is the click. This is the click. You said, well, what's the lowest point? What's the lowest point? This doesn't sound like it's a low point.
The lowest point.
What happened was I thought it was going to keep going that way. Like I thought it was just going to keep going up and up and up. And as most actors do, right? Once you get a little bit of things are going well, you think it's going to keep going up. It plateaued like last year. I want to say earlier this year. I said, I got these fabulous headshots. I had a great session. It was my first real good headshot session. I thought, oh, I'm just going to go get the agent now. I've gotten some work under my belt. I've gotten some pretty decent training. Let's go. And it kind of like didn't happen. And I'm like, what? You know? And so I think that, I feel like that was like my wake up call. Like, wow, this is not as easy as just picking up and doing. And so that was earlier this year. That was probably January to March of this year. So before the strike, you know, I was getting a lot of stand-in work. I was doing, you know, different shows. I was doing Law and Order, Organized Crime the year before. I was doing FBI the year before, back and forth, standing in. And I thought everything was always going to stay that way. And once I do that, then all of a sudden it's going to see me and I'm going to read for them. And it just didn't happen. The beautiful headshot session didn't catapult me.
Yeah. Oh, but you made it back because the other part is
so
how you pull yourself back together.
What happened was,
well, I guess
I decided,
okay, go ahead.
all right, let me try something different. Let me do something that I haven't done yet. So I fell into doing some Shakespeare performing at the school that I went to. The school that I was trained at was Stella Adler, one of the schools, Stella Adler. And they had a program, and the program was for teens. The program was Shakespeare for teens. And I figured, you know what? I love kids. I love teens. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can do something with them. And I did it. And I performed alongside teens who were amazing, who some of them are really going to be very, very, very strong actors, I feel, in the future. Right? And that brought me back. I felt like this classical training, this is very interesting. You know, this is away from the norm. It's away from the contemporary. It's away from the Broadway musicals. And it's away from, you know, the hit crime shows on NBC Universal. And this is the real thing that you always hear, like all the biggest actors do, Denzel and Viola and whatever. I said, you know what? Maybe I should concentrate on something deeper than the average TV show that I had been standing in on, right? And I found it was helping me. It helped. It made me feel stronger. You know, I felt I had some presence, more confidence, like what you had asked about before. And I just felt like I understood a lot of what the bigger actors out there, their process. Their process. A lot of them say, I did Shakespeare. And then it's like, Shakespeare? You did Shakespeare? And I felt like that was a big help for me. That made me feel like I had more meaning, that my acting had more meaning. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. Okay, so we're going back up the peak, the mountaintop. What have been some highlights you achieved this far that you can share, or anything off like your bucket list that you were able to, like, anybody that you met or worked with or anything like that that you can share?
That a lot of what. Wait, hold on for a second. Here, can you just bring it and put it right there? I can't see what you have. There's someone here and they have something like. Wait.
You're fine.
Got you.
Hi, you guys. Thanks for being here.
What was the question again? Give me the question
again. Okay. You're fine. What have been some highlights that you achieved this far? Or
I feel like working with people that I never thought I would ever be around. I feel like standing in has been a great help. I mean, Ron Cephas Jones, who passed away recently, amazing. Like, just to be in the presence of someone that was that great. Incredible, you know? And
the best places
to
learn is like being right next to the person that you like.
One thing about standing in that's interesting is that you're not on camera in the same way that the person that you're standing in is on camera, obviously, because you're doing a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
setup work before they actually come on. But oh, you have that script.
Mm-hmm.
You have that script, and you have
True.
those lines,
Yeah, that's
and you
true.
see the call sheet for the day, and you
Mm-hmm.
know who's coming on set, and you know it's going to be a
Right.
good day when you see his
Right.
name, or when you see, or where you see the director is Kira Sedgwick, or you see the director is Malcolm Lee, or you see
Love her.
Neil Long is going to be there,
Yeah.
whoever.
So,
There's just been some incredible people
right.
that I've worked around that I feel, or you see, Ice-T or whoever, it's just incredible. And when you're standing in, you're
Yeah,
so
for
close,
sure.
and you have the opportunity to be directed by the same person that they're directed by. The director of photography is there, and the director is
Right.
there, and the second AD, and like you're working directly with them. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that has been a real strong point for me, and it gives you the confidence, and
Nice.
that this is my process. When I get to that level, when I get to the level of, like I've been on stage, but when I get to that level on TV, wow, this is what it's going to be. I'm just going to step in. There are my lines. Everything's there. I'm ready to go. So those are my points.
Right. Well, that awesome. I love that. And I love all the names that you dropped. That was so dope that you was like, whoever, and the along, whoever I see. I'm like, none of those names are for
They're all
whoever.
there.
But okay. But no, I hear you though. That's the New York acting scene, you guys, SVU. All right, so to bring this closer to the end of our interview here. Just some like reflective. What was something that you would tell your 13-year-old self, 13-year-old Tia, if she could see you today?
Wow. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to do so and so and so. I'm excited. I can't believe I'm doing this. But I also feel one thing that I would do it in the reverse. I'd say that the older me would tell the younger me to start now. The younger me, I'm not so sure. I think the younger me would just be like, wow, this is so cool. This is what I want to do. This is really, I think, wow, this is really cool. But more interesting would be me talking to the 13-year-old Tia, saying, Tia, keep it up. Don't think that you can't do it. You can do it. Don't quit, and do it as early as possible. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't think you're going to do XYZ. Do what you want to do now. Right. Don't second guess yourself, because so many of us second guess ourselves. Try it now. And if it doesn't work, find a way to make it work.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Tia Walker. I love this interview. It was so cool and relaxing. You are such a journalist.
I miss interviewing people. I think you are amazing. And what about you and yourself? Are you going to be doing any more acting anytime soon?
Well, yeah, I've been back auditioning and stuff like that. So there's a few little like short films here and there. There's some background work. I'm trying to figure that out as well. I like the stage, so I'm always like, oh my gosh, off Broadway, I've done stuff like that. So the fall seems pretty promising. I think I might join maybe something for the holidays too, like a kind of like a chorus or a glee club or something like that. This guy's been telling me some stuff. So some performance stuff definitely coming up. I try to keep it, like I say, keep it active. We all are a part of our community, so whoever can perform. When I'm not performing, I'm supporting a friend, going to a show. Like, I'm all for it. I've been in the arts my entire life.
I know.
So it's like the only thing that I know, so, and I appreciate it. Yes. Well, this was great. And you guys know the interview is going to stay here 24 hours and it'll go to my YouTube page. But thank you again. You guys can follow Tia, check out her stuff, her profile. Maybe you've seen her in something already. That's why you recognize her face.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah.
You're a national show, so you never know.
My favorite, the last thing I did recently was Equalizer. Sometimes people will say, oh, did I see you on Equalizer? But it's like, you never know. People see you on things. It's like,
yes,
you don't know.
People recognize you. For sure.
Thank
best of luck to you, my friend.
You
Hope to see you soon somewhere in the school world.
And I will be supporting you constantly.
Thank you.